Test. Okay. Hi. Obaid. I hope I'm saying that not right. Good evening or good morning, good afternoon, depending on where in the world you reside. I have some time to do a live stream, and I think it's important to do one. We have some movement in crypto, and as you know, when crypto may be moving in a wave three of three, people will trade all night, 24/7. I mean, uh, I think crypto has a pretty big opportunity, and we saw some of the 2017 coins pop in Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and I believe we that's a good sign of things to come. So yeah, so I think it's good to do a live stream, answer some questions because I don't know if I'll be able to do a video. And let's say, like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. Use this for your education, entertainment purposes only. And, any trade that I may mention isn't a trade that I may do myself. I may change my mind at any moment. You have to make your own decision and do what's best for you. So just yeah, keep that in mind. So we're back. I have 1,000 subscribers now on my YouTube, so super chats are back. So like I've always done on my live stream, any super chats, I'll just jump right to your question ahead of everybody else's. I don't really stay on that long, and you can get exactly what you want answered. So that's how that works if you want to do that. So here we are, guys. So the market, just like I've been mentioning, I really like the Dow to finish its pump. I do want to see the Dow Jones average finish this sequence, and then who knows? And I don't know how high it's going to go, but I think it's safe to say it's going to definitely come somewhere where I got my cursor. Can it go higher? It might be. It might make another expanded flat and then come down later. But I think higher for right now. And a lot of people like to talk about the analog in 1987. And so I'll show you guys that real quick. It got an eerie similarity to 1987, to what's happening now. But one of the things you want to understand with 1987, with the Dow, you still had this unorthodox bottom. Is literally exactly what we saw. But if you look, you see how we had this pop about, you see how it popped up, right? This here, right there, you see that? It popped up right there. And when that happened, then it crashed. So if we go to today's price action, kind of go back now to our current time period. And if I can get this right, bear with me. You notice the similarity. There's my line, but we haven't popped above it yet. I do think we'll pop above it. So that's what I'm saying, guys. So the 1987 analogy isn't there quite there yet. This first part is almost to the T, and then you have this consolidation, and I do think we'll get this throw over somewhere in the 35,000, 36,000 area, and then who knows, right? Who knows? Then it either will have a massive drop, we call crash down to this area, or it will finish an expanded flat and break the all-time high, trapping a lot of people. But I do think until then it's higher, and the markets are buyable dips for further notice, and that's all we've been doing is buying the dips in three waves every time you can get a chance, and it's just going to keep grinding higher. And also the seasonality is going to play into this, so I wouldn't expect until the fall, or late, maybe September. But like I say, do what's best for you. Probably in something like this right now. And then that would be another one. So it looks like we got another 1, 2, finishing up. So it looks like again we'll probably come higher and then have a pretty good another healthy correction down and another 2 before you get the real 3 of 3 in the Dow Industrials. It would surprise me to get it right now, but you never know. And then of course Bitcoin is very interesting. I had a little bit of a flash crash today. 3 waves down, up, and it hit the buy area and ricocheted right off of that. Unless you were a computer, you really had no chance at getting in on that unless you had your buy order set. But it was really a tough, just happened so fast. So this cycle may already be corrected here, may already be done, ready to go into a massive breakout. So that's why crypto could have a really big opportunity if this is going to happen and get this pump into the 40,000s to finish this wave. And then I do think we'll get a pretty scary decline. And a lot of money will be lost. So I think this is where we're going, something like this right now with Bitcoin. So let's go to your questions and see what you guys have. Vince, yeah, Zoom and AMC. I've been watching Zoom closely. I've been watching Zoom closely, and I'll tell you, it doesn't have a good chart that I like, but let me find it here. I'm gonna have to resort my tech page is a mess. I have to get that sorted. There it is. Okay, so I've got the Zoom in this 5th wave decline. Okay, it looks like I have it as a 3-wave ended diagonal, so it should be ready to break down to 57. That would probably be a really good risk to reward play, but it is dangerous for the following reason. You have this massive left shoulder, head, and mini right shoulder, and you're below the neckline going into an earnings report. So it could have also it could have a waterfall sell-off like that. I mean, we don't know. So I think I like to stay away from it until earnings is over. And if it does bounce out of earnings, then you may just want to momentum chase that, because then it should have an opportunity to get to 127, 130. You may miss some of the move, but at least you're avoiding dodging a bullet, because I do think this count can get negated, and I don't like the chart. I don't like the price action, but I mean, it does have a good setup potential if this actually plays out just like this. But I think earnings is the catalyst for the next major move in Zoom, in my opinion. I don't have AMC's chart updated. I stopped charting AMC. I'm just not something I'm interested in, but I mean, we can look at it here. Oh, it looks like I may have updated it for somebody later. Looks like that's going to be a C wave. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's just a real tight 4 or 5 is essentially non-existent, and that low held. So that would be the bottom right there. So then so you trade against 378, and it looks like to me you could call that 1 here and 2. So something like Yeah, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something. I'm sorry, like that. 2. And this is kind of the same chart here. Something like that. So it could be going into a 3 of 3 moment, and if the Russell's going to pump, which I think it's going to, then this should be supported and it makes sense. But I would still have my stop loss at the low at 370. So it's like a low risk, high reward setup for AMC coming in, and it's just it's essentially you're trading the Russell long, and the weekly correction. Let's take a look. It wants to break out. It's getting back tested on the RSI trend line. So it's just the market hasn't made up its mind, but I bet you it's probably gonna pump out of this. This might just what I look at that. So let's see what we have. Let's see here. Zim. So Zimmer, I don't like the chart anymore because of the structure, but it does show, I mean, if it's a pure Elliott wave standpoint, it shows that it's at a bottom. But it's again high risk, high reward, and it maybe when this cycle ends is a time to try to long, and you have that bullish divergence. It looks like the cycle wants to end, but it hasn't here. You see, it hasn't. But once that cycle ends, then you can get confirmation to go long and trade against 1179. Until then, it could be a trap for any long position, and it really needs to stay above 1132. So it's one of those things that it's tough. I don't like it. Now, if I saw this bounce more and then pull back a little bit, I may try that, but I'm not going to buy it here because of what I just said. And Etsy, I posted on my Twitter about Etsy. It's a long. Could be in a major, a low for wave 3, a 3 breakout. It's pretty self-explanatory. You have a 1, correct the grand supercycle in 2. You come up in 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 1. You pull back in 2. Right? You pulled back in 3 waves. Here in 2, you bounce in 5. You pulled back in 2, and now the market, is trying to get you out of the trade. So let's take a look at what we have here. So we did break that low. I don't like that. So then it changes the structure to a flat, not a zigzag. So it doesn't really, because this is so overextended, I would just call this then an impulse down. And then I would have the 1 here, and an A, B, C. So something like the correction is like that. So it's just playing games, they're just trying to play games here. So it could go to 83.43. 81, as long as it's above the 80.39, I'm not too worried about it. But sometimes I can be wrong. Because if we break that, the first leg, a connector, essentially then it's going, what if it breaks that, then what is it going to do? Go to $30? I don't think it's going to go that low. I mean, yeah, $28. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely give up the trade if it breaks, you know, the $80 area. But for now, I'm going to hold it. So do what's best for you. Let's see. SoFi. SoFi is SoFi. Where did I have that? We've looked at that before. I think I put it in financials somewhere. Or maybe it was in requested. Yeah, requested stocks. We had looked at it. I think we called the bottom on that one. Or if our charts are still there, looks like we lost some of the charts. But all right, so this was my call, an X wave pump, and that's what we're getting, followed by a Y leg. So we're getting the X wave pump now in this W. So it's playing out just like I had it. So if you guys watch my videos, this was predicted. You have an overlapped wave here, so it's still got more upside. Like the rest of the market, it's a buyable in 3 dips, 3 waves. So again, this too could come back down. It's a dip buy. So the dip buy in SoFi is here, 691 is the dip buy. Somewhere in here, 691, 632, maybe even 564. If it gets a 3-wave move, the other is it's already done 2, and then it's in a 1-2, 1-2, and this is the other option. So that's how I'd look at it, but I still think it's got more upside now coming, and how much more it's tough to say, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it hit $15, this cluster, this resistance, and then take the next leg lower. Something like that. And net. I don't know if we've ever done that one. Maybe we have. Oh, that's Cloudflare. I think did that a long time ago. Yeah. So Cloudflare, we had 5 waves down, and now we're in a B wave connector. I mean, if you look at the B wave, it's still in 3 waves, right? You have 3, so probably still going to go higher in B. So I would say something like that. And so right now, it's in this B. So this B could be done here. It could be done here. Based on the RSI, I would put it here. And if it pulls back more, it's just going to pull back against B. So I think it's tradable against $62 for this final push higher. And it gets to like $94, $100, and then it's then I would be careful of being in it for the next leg lower. And the other alternative is it a major low? Is it a flat? Because it's clearly 5 waves down from this peak, but it doesn't look like a flat to me. I mean, look at that, like literally straight up. I mean, that's too high to be a flat, to put the peak here in an A, B, C. So I mean, perhaps you could force it here. You could put it here and have it A, B, C. So the best way to trade it is not try to short it, but to just kind of play the long side until the market turns against it, because there's a chance this could be the major low. And if it is, then it's a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And this earnings report coming out on August 3rd is going to be so good, it's just going to launch this thing into the stratosphere. So either way, I think it's going higher. The question is how high and how much extension is it going to get? And if it can get a lot, like AMD did, and Facebook and all these other stocks did, then you can say that low. That's the major low. But right now, I'm going to just say it has a no leg lower, but I wouldn't count on it given what the rest of the market's doing. Crispr. Okay, that's one we've never done. So looks like another super cycle degree correction with a 5-wave move down from the high. Right? So unfortunately, just like net, it's the same thing. So when I look at this, I would be careful that this isn't going to bounce and make another low, which more than likely it's going to in a massive zigzag pattern of some kind. So I do think you'll do something like that. So again, we're in the B wave, and it looks like we're up in 3 with a connector. My guess is it has another swing higher when this connector's finished, and it could be finished here. Like that. And then that. But I guess like on net, you could put the 1 there and say A, B, C, and call major low. So you still could have a major low here. And this could be another 1, 2, 1, 2. So this extension here will define if this is going to be a low or not. If you could get enough separation, if this can get enough separation, then this is a major low. If it can't, then it's a B wave and it's going to fail. So, but either way, I think it's higher. But there's no indication this X wave is finished yet. So it could still keep going lower. So it's really in a tough area to figure out. But I mean, it should bounce here looking at it, because I see it in the buy area right now at 57 and 50. So it's in the buy area. So should bounce here. Should bounce. The question is how high? How much separation? If you can get a lot of separation, then that's a major low. If not, then it's a B wave and it's going to go lower. Do what's best for you, but I think you could try to trade that here on the long side. Yeah, that Bitcoin was the ETFs were rejected or something, or the SEC put out some information that they didn't think those recent ETFs being submitted are gonna fly or something, and the market flash crashed. But then it bounced right back. So I don't know. Yeah. Let's see, Unity Software. So we kind of had that right. We kind of had the bottom here coming out. Just kind of, again, it's in this wave 3 was right. It just took a bigger 1, 2 out of that. Yeah, it's a 1, 2, 1, 2. So it looks like it's very bullish here. I mean, it looks like it's got a good bullish setup. Like a lot of market I'm seeing right now. So it may pull back again, although that corrected the whole cycle, so probably not. So that too may not be done. This too could be in a flat. It could still be an A, B, C and come back down. But for the most part, it looks like it's about to have a 3 of 3 moment. that come out of this. And you got kind of a left shoulder. You could call that like a head, and maybe it's going to pull back deeper in this too to form the right shoulder, but it's reversing. This is kind of a reversal process underway, is what I'm seeing happen here. So I think I think at least you'll get to 59, and then maybe it'll pull back at 59. So yeah, this was a shallow crack. Yeah, so I think it seems pretty bullish to me. A new AI marketplace announced. Okay. So, I don't know. It's got the AI going for it. But to me, it looks like it's forming a bottoming process. So you have to be patient if you're trying to play this. You're going to have to just hold it and be patient and understand it's going to try to shake people out like, like it's doing. But at some point, it'll probably reverse out of this mess. As for a major low, that looks like 5 down here, right? But that's 3 up. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, 5 down. Let's see. Yeah, you have to call it like a 3 and an A, B, C, and a flat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it looks like it's a finished correction. Yeah, it's in the area of accumulation. You see that? I'll highlight that. But you can see it's in that area where it needs to be accumulated. And it does, to me, it looks like a flat correction. It's finished. Five, like that. So looks like could be a major bottom. I mean, I don't know this company, but if I was in a long-term investor, long-term, wanting to hold, this would be the time to pull the trigger, right? This is the time to buy it and kind of hold it. I would say the stop loss would be at $21. So that's a big difference, but you had time to buy it. I mean, it isn't like, it's been it hit $20 like 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I mean, you had time to buy it. So it's looks like to me it's bottoming now as a major low in a grand super cycle, which is a small. It's only looks like around a short period of time, and then I'll go to the next high. So that's what that looks like to me. Has AI marketplace in partnership with Apple. Oh, okay. Well, given that, let's make that we'll keep that on my watch list. So I like to get things with themes like that because those will pump even more. Because people like to buy those story stocks, the stocks that have a vision, that type of thing. So that's one that may be worth picking up. I may even pick this up now that I know if that's the news tied to it, because people will FOMO into that. All right. Well, I can't stay on too long. Like I said, if I didn't get to your questions, super chats, I can get super chats again now that I'm back to 1,000 subscribers. I'll just go to it. I'll just kind of scan through what's left, and then I'll do another live stream. Hopefully this weekend, and you can have another chance. I would say I'm in a different place. That's why my mic's different. Already covered Zim. Nio's already hit a major low. I believe Nio is good for a long-term investment hold if you believe in the company. But as you know, companies can fail and go to zero. But if you do believe in the company, this is the time to buy it and hold it forever. I mean, I think it's in a massive bottom, and MTV. I haven't looked at MTV in a while, to be honest. Let me see. Yeah, MTV could be 100 time stock, guys. So it's 100 time crypto if it's still around. Because I thought KuCoin was gonna delist this thing. I don't see it anymore on my TV. Okay, it's still on here. It's respecting that low. It did bounce here, but the bounce failed. So yeah, I mean it's a massive opportunity, not for the faint of heart, but I mean it looks like to me again. There's your three waves. As long as it's above this 7260, I mean, isn't this what I mean? Textbook inverse head and shoulder bottom. That should be finishing up the right shoulder at any moment. And you have all of crypto pumped in. Well, not all of crypto, but a lot of crypto starting to have been pumping. So in this one of these, this will go last, but it'll go. They all do. I mean, kind of looks like this bottom in process, right? A little bit, right? Yeah, I think if you're patient enough, but it is a gamble because if it gets delisted, you lose everything. So I mean, it's just like don't put in what you can afford to go to zero. But the way I like it is you have a 1 here, a 3-wave move down. So you have a 1, 2. I don't have that shown here, but you have a 1, 2. And then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out. You made a higher high, and then you pulled back in 3 again. And now you're down here. So now you have a 1, 2, 1, 2. So chances are the next cycle, the next 4-year cycle that we're in right now, this is going to be blown away for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it will. That's just what the count is telling me. So if you're trading the count, this count will tell you we should exceed this 2 cent, 3 cent area, and we probably will hit somewhere around $0.10, 10 or 11 cents on the next pump, the next cycle, 4-year cycle pump. So do what's best for you, but I mean that's a lot of zeros gone. So I think 100 times could easily be. So good luck if you're going to do that. All right, so MTV. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to stay on today. I'll just tell you that the market, pretty much everything should be still continuing higher, but I still think a pretty severe pullback is coming, and that will be the final leg in the other bear market, which is a flat correction bear market. MVIS, yeah, people have asked me about this one before. I'll look at that real quick. MVIS. I think I even have it here. Yeah. So it did hit the buy area, and then it kind of came out, but it fell through it a little bit, but now it's bouncing out. So it's bullish against 351. So as long as it's above 351, it's a long position, and it looks like 5 waves down from this high. Or no, see, no divergence. So it's actually 3. So yeah, I mean, it looks like to me that correction's over. And now it's starting a new cycle higher in wave 3. So yeah, I think it's gonna keep going higher from here. And of course there'll be pullbacks along the way. It needs to hold 348, and I think it will. And it probably will just something like that. Let's kind of grind up, and so that's how I look at that one. Interesting. All right. Well, like I said, I gotta go tonight. I just tried to squeeze in this one live stream. I would say, the biggest thing is crypto right now. I would say, don't get too bearish on it. Even if this low fails, it's just another three waves down. It's just a buyable dip, in my opinion. But I do think there's a chance the market may be fooled that this is already a finished correction, and we're about to go into the third, go higher, and people will start chasing because they'll miss the move. I would not be shorting it here. I just wouldn't recommend doing that. Bitcoin Cash looks like it's finished its first impulse, and now it's pulling back. Should be pulling back in this two wave, but again, if you look, it bled a lot of RSI already, so there's a chance it's even in a 1-2-1-2 setup, and it may be ready to go to the $600 level. I know people won't believe it, but that's just what the charts tell me. And Litecoin's even showing something even more bullish, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So Litecoin could be ready to see like the 140s and 150, 140, $152, $150. So like I said, I wouldn't get too bearish on these cryptos. They all are probably going to eventually follow, and just some are lagging others. Like Dogecoin, it's just a 1-2, right? It's just a 1-2, and then it comes out. So again, you're just playing the Elliott waves, and you're just playing it. Like Litecoin was an easy buy here in three waves at the buy area, and it like went parabolic off of that buy area, and then again it flash crashed, and then it just went even higher. So I would just say I would be really, really cautious shorted, but I'm trying to be a little more aggressive in the crypto area as I get these dips, for right now, to try to play some of this 3 of 3 action. So just look for that as you trade different cryptos. Look for it, and we're always looking for a theme, and maybe the theme is 2017 shitcoins are pumping, right? I mean, I was watching, even was Zcoin going to start pumping now? I'm like, what were our 20? I have to go look at version stuff. So I mean, I don't know. Every crypto has a theme, and maybe it's commodity coins that aren't securities. The SEC, isn't going to go after or going to pump this cycle. So you got to look for that theme and get in early. That's why, I got on as soon as I saw Bitcoin Cash was going to be in the basket that isn't some basket of ETFs or something. I got in as fast as I could down in this area. I think I got in at like 170, and I'm just going to hold it for the whole 4-year cycle. And Litecoin, like I said, Litecoin had a bearish chart that could have been a massive flat. Litecoin could have been a massive flat, but now it turns into a more bullish 1-2, 1-2. And so this could see a 3 of 3 moment and break these all-time highs. I was looking at it for an A, B, C down to $20, but the market doesn't seem to support that. It seems to want to support the more bullish count, which is a 1-2, 1-2 setup within a 1-2, 1-2, and now we're going vertical, which is what you would expect if that's the count. And we should continue vertical, essentially all the way up to the all-time high, and then pull back, pretty strong. So I know it's hard to believe. People don't want to believe that, but this is what the counts are showing in these coins. And, do what's best for you. But I just always tell you how I'm trading and what am I being aggressive in and what am I not, and I'm being aggressive in a lot of these cryptos. And I have been, and if you've been following me, I was mentioning about being aggressive in Bitcoin when we were trading, down in this area. Before we even I said, I'm not going to wait because I want to get in. If it's a 3-wave super cycle, I need to get in on this. And that's what I was trying to do. And then if you go to the crypto stocks, a lot of them, like LTCN, again, if you follow me, I gave you this buy at 342. It's now gone vertical. It even looks like it hit $7. It's just going to keep going, guys. These are still under NAV. A lot of these, like Bitcoin, BCHG, essentially vertical, and then even these are going stupid, like G-Link went like, it didn't, this one's way over NAV. I would not recommend buying it, but it's still people just are buying. They don't understand it. They're just buying it, and it's just pumping anyway. But anyway, these things are good, and then these other ones just never pulled back like we want it. Here you can see it never gave us that drop. So this is very bull. Crypto is very bullish right now. So I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, and that's probably you seeing the dollar's really weak too. You're seeing the dollar's getting ready to have a massive drop. Oh, okay. So I've got a super chat. I was just about to wrap it up, but thanks, man, for the $50. I'll end the note on that. Nat gas. Okay. So nat gas follows oil typically, right? It's typically, but it lags. So oil will pump, and then nat gas kind of comes along for the ride later. That's the correlation I usually see. So what do I? So the forecast of oil is important, and I do think oil's going higher in this X wave. So I think nat gas is going to go higher, but I think you still need to be careful for another leg lower. So let's look at it here. So I always mention that once this peak broke in 4 at 303, then you have to call the correction done. Then that's the major low. And now that we broke that high, it's looking more and more likely that this is the case, that the count is here like this and like this, and now we're breaking higher. And if I look at this low, I want to see 5 swings. I still only see 3. And you see, you just missed the sell area. You really want to see this high taken out at 2877 to confirm an impulse, right? Then you're going to get, something, where you have 3 swings. You essentially have something like that. I mean, you want to right now it's still just a 3 swing move here below the 4, but it's looking less and less likely that it's gonna it looks more likely the correction's over. Yeah, look at the RSI on the weekly. And the monthly. Yeah, this correction's over, man. All right, so I think the lows, I think it's safe to say the lows are in that gas. Look at the monthly break. Look at the Stoke RSI crossing over. It could still have some volatility as the bottoming process continues, because that's what this is. So I mean, it could still come back down and do a lot of that, but I bet that this is gonna hold for now for a while, and you're gonna get a much larger pump out of this. Yeah, I would say long. I would say, when I look at this, it's yeah, I would probably label it something like this. And it has no RSI divergence. See, that's what I don't like. So see, I can't get. It's hard to get a count here that works as an impulse. So that's why I mean, I think it's done based on my RSI analysis, but from an Elliott wave standpoint, you would still maybe call it like a WXY. But once you break this 4, and more importantly break this high, then I think it's you can consider it finished. Let's see if Boyle gives us any clues. Boyle is having an inverse head and shoulder, like looking bottom, and again it's bottoming out too. And look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Boyle has an impulse off the low. It looks like here. Yeah, the only problem is there's no divergence at this peak, but it is 5 swings. Let's look at the 45-minute. Okay, there you go. All right, so it's an impulse. So you still have you have an impulse off the bottom. So Boyle should make another leg higher. So yeah, I think that gas is going higher, man. And I think Boyle could see $93, $100 here, 112. If this pullback's done, if it's not done, then Boyle's a dip buy at 56.30. So if you have no position in that gas, you could try to pick it up here. But here you'll be just kind of guessing. But I do think with the 5 up, it's a good chance it's coming up here at some point. So yeah, I would say it looks like it's nat gas is finished. And again, this too could still come down. It just looks real ugly off this low. It's just so much, this overlap in waves. It's very 3-wave like, although this leg looks like it's in 5, 3, and that's 5. So you can see 5 and 5, but that doesn't look like 5 here off the low. So that's why I had it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But with no, yeah, and you have to have some divergence. So yeah, maybe it is 1. And you get this pullback, and then you get that pullback and Boyle I was showing you. Oops. And Boyle, you get this pullback. So you get a pullback, and that gas, you get a pullback, but then that's a buyable dip. At 256, 24. That's what I'd be looking for if I was trading it. This hopefully get this pullback like that. All right, good luck. Thanks for the 50. Okay, guys, that's all I've got. I'll see you later. Enjoy your weekend.